Right, many moons ago, Tottenham Hotspur made it to the Champions League final. Maurizio Pochettino had these lot balling. They had players like Ericsson. They had obviously Lucas Moura's. They had the Sons. They had all these types of players. But the couple people they had, and the problem they had for a long time, was the Ericsson and the Dele Alli dynamic. Ericsson was a clear 10. Dele Alli's only position really was a 10. Dele Alli played more like a striker, like just off. It was a weird kind of time, and they had to make it work. That inspired this formation. It's not completely based off it, so don't look at it and go, that's not how they play. Don't worry about it. But let me show you how the results worked out. So, over here, we've got on the general performance, you can see the goals per game 2.45, only conceded 0.84. Pretty solid. Shots weren't crazy. This is a tactic you're going to have to build. I'm not going to bore you with all the long stuff today as well. I'm just going to show you how this tactic actually works. But you can see there's nothing particularly crazy about these stats that stand out, because Tottenham are a bang average team. They are really not a great team, as you can see in real life. But when you look at the results, won the Europa League, did get knocked out in both quarterfinals, but won the Premier League with only one loss. Now, you can see here, scored the most goals, actually conceded the least as well. We were right up there. It's a solid tactic for a team that is just pretty average. When you look at the actual squad of this team, there's nothing particularly exciting about this team. Obviously, Son, Maddison, very good players, but obviously both getting up there in age, particularly Son as well. But he was a great player for the season. Actually spent a lot of the season out injured, as you'll see here. Only 30 games compared to everyone else who's getting in the 40s. He actually had a little spell out injured. Did rely on Richarlison, believe it or not. And I mean, if you look at Richarlison's stats, there is absolutely zero things to write home about, besides probably a little bit of pace and stamina there as well. But the tactic, as I go back to the data hub, attacking wise, as I mentioned before, shots quite low. Let me get that back up there as well. Shots quite low. The shots on target ratio is quite decent. And that's just the fact that you actually have players in the box. You see them actually bombing on, getting into the box, and the kind of goals you score are pretty decent. It's hard to tell you that this tactic with an average team is gonna blow your lights out and go, this is incredible. But when we look at the results, you definitely have some very, very strong runs of form. It's not just a pure plug and play. As you see, you can get results out of it. But if you want to really go, oh, this team is dominating, you're going to have to build, manage games out properly. And as you build, it'll become more and more dominant. I can promise you that. I can run this tactic with a big team like Man City and it'll blitz everybody. The fact that you only got one loss in the Premier League just tells you everything you need to know. It holds on to games and it gets goals when needed. But you can see the results. A lot of 2s, 2-1, 2-0, 1-0. You have your couple good games as well, but 5-3, you get the back and forths as well. 8-1 obviously, but that's against Barrow as expected. And it ended the season very, very, very strong. And that's all you can really need from a tactic. But what is the tactic? That's the only place we can go from here as well. So here it is. Now this is the tactic. Break the curse. Obviously Spurs are known for not winning stuff, and this is how I've designed it. So if I break down my thought process, obviously I wanted a sweeper keeper because I think that's quite common. I like the balance at the moment of a ball playing defender and a central defender, both of them there, and I think they kind of both suit them roles as well. Porro, I want him fullback attack. I want him getting up, but as I've got Johnson just as inverted wing, I want him to hover here and then I want him to attack. So when he receives the ball out wide, it's not like there's just a gaping hole here, whereas on this side I want him absolutely flying up and down the side because I want him getting right high because he's going to pretty much be a winger on a lot of attacks. Now obviously Bentancur, I want him just being the ball winning defender. I don't think these are particularly their best roles either. You could arguably switch them, you could do a lot of things with it, but for how the FM have done their stats, this is how I saw it. I said could switch them around, it doesn't really matter. But the actual role itself, I wanted him on a deep line playmaker on support, whereas he was on defend. He was going to break things up because this side is going to be a little bit more exposed. So I need him at more of a defensive mindset to kind of hold in here and kind of break down a lot of them as well. There's no real instructions on any of the players, as you can see here. I just kind of left them as they are. They just allow them to kind of play their game and kind of be a bit more natural. I feel sometimes they get a bit lost with it as well. But over here I said inverted winger, I said I want him to hold out. Shadow striker, that was the Dele Alli inspired role. I want him attached to the striker. I was going to put the striker deep line playmaker, deep line forward, but I had a feeling that this could become quite congested here, and I did try it for a couple of games and the results were okay. So if your striker really isn't an advanced forward, you can use the deep line forward. I would still have him on attack though, but yeah, you can use that dynamic if you really need as well. But for me, I kept it with the advanced forward, and then of course on the side, just an advanced. You can have the attacking mid is what I used. You can always use advanced playmaker, but I found that he just kind of got a little bit lost. Here he kind of stayed in this area, dominated, and allowed a doggy to really bomb on and add to the team in that sense. And as you can see with Madison's stats, if I can quickly show you his stats as well, 32 goals, 16 assists, whereas Kulusevski in the shadow striker got 24 goals, 17 assists. Not bad at all. Both of them two working their absolute magic. But let me give you the bit that you're here for. So you've seen the roles, there's no instructions, so you want it on positive. In possession, just simple, fairly wide. If you've got kind of a fast springer or something, maybe you can put pass into space, but I had it playing out shorter with standard tempo, run at defense, so easy. I actually tinkered between mixed and low. Obviously when Richarlison came in, I went more mixed, but when it was Son, I did keep it low to kind of keep the ball on the floor a little bit more. Transition, counter press, counter from the back and roll it out, and then out of possession, nice and high on both, get stuck in, full out press and prevent the kick from short. I did run stop crosses for a little while, but I don't know what happened. My team just started conceding a little more. That 5-3 against Newcastle, I had stop crosses on, and I felt like they scored crosses. So, you know, let's not be. I'm not going to hold it to that one too much, but yeah, that's it. Simple. It's a really fun tactic to use. You should try it out. I think you will enjoy it. Build properly. Don't just plug and play and expect a load of results and then come back to comment section and kill me. But use it, try it. Let me know what you think. Fire them comments down below. We love the engagement here. We're building, so keep going. The TikTok is also available, so find me on there as well. Everything is here. It's so easy, so simple. You like, you subscribe, you comment, we have fun. That is all for me today. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.